one thing I want to make sure that we've got done right is the one pass. The only thing on all these here to mess with, one pass, 256 kbps. Everything else, leave it alone, unless of course you want to buy the pro version. The one that I'm showing here is the free version. Anyway, that's pretty much it on those. And under what else we got? Options, cursor options. Basically, pretty self-explanatory. You can highlight the cursor, put this guy in there. You can adjust the size of it. You can have circles or squares or ellipses. You can even change the color if you want. Okay, that's too foo-foo for me. And we got green. What else we got here? Or you can even just hide the cursor too. And you got your custom cursor where you can go in here and find one. All kinds of good stuff here. And that's that. What else we got here under options? Do not record audio. Guess what that means. And we want to record audio from the microphone. That's what I'm doing now. Audio options. Similar to the video options, we have audio codecs. Usually, depending upon what you have, I've got a sound card. I've got the Logitech headset with the microphone attached to it. That's what I'm using now, so I'm going to use that. And here, the recording format, again, we've got, like with the video, you've got a lot of different settings you can play with here. I'll cover these in more detail later on. Click on OK. And interleave, that's fine. Everything else is pretty well fine right here. Now then, volume, bring this down here. You want to make sure that this is unticked, the mute, because guess what? If this is ticked, you're not going to make any sounds anywhere. And you might want to raise this up a little bit too. Again, that's totally up to you. And all these are negotiable items. I mean, you can always play around with them, and you should do just fine. And what else we got here under options? So yeah, enable auto pan. Now that's one other thing I'm going to be going over in this video as well, is the auto pan and auto pan speed and the zoom. But enable auto pan, that now is ticked. So as you move your mouse, it should also be moving. But of course, we're not recording anything now. Auto pan speed, usually about 80 or 70 or so is about right. Again, that's something that can be played around with. But if it's not ticked, then, it's not going to matter how fast you got to set. So tick this, play with it. If you don't like it, then undo it. Program options. One thing that I would mess with on here, really I wouldn't mess with any of them except for these two. Make sure these two are ticked. Save settings on exit. Otherwise, you're going to go through all of this each and every time. Capture, translucent, layer, whatever that means. We're not positive, but I leave it checked. Play AVI files from recording stops, or do not. I'd leave it where it is, really. Just, as it is. Let me see here. That's fine. User specified directory. I would go with this one here. That way, unless you know exactly where your temporary directory is, I would just go with here and choose, put a folder on the desktop, which I've kind of done, and that's called my throwaway stuff, Cam Studio Tester. Now then, every time we finish the recording here, it's automatically going to go right there on my desktop, throwaway folder, Cam Studio Tester. And record to flash options, if you wish, check those out. Again, items to be played around with, folks. Keyboard shortcuts. These are pretty cool. And just as it says, these are ways to shortcut. You don't have to hit the play or the record. Do your F10, F9, whatever, F11, and you can adjust these to your heart's desire. And these are on the layouts too, on the annotations I was showing you earlier. The record pause key, and then the language. Well, we're sticking with English here. And then we got the screen annotations, and then under effects we've got annotation. We got some watermarks. These are some of the items that we were not able to, that we did not have. Where we at? That we did not have on the 2.0 version, but we do have here. Again, a watermark is something that you just add at the at some point on your video that identifies it as probably yours. A caption, again, similar to a watermark, although a caption is something that is on a section or a portion of your video pointing something out, kind of like those annotations. Whereas a watermark is typically something that's kind of in the bottom corner here with your URL or your domain name that is somewhat transparent, but it still can be seen, but it's on throughout the entire video. At least that's the way I look at watermark, and the timestamp. Yeah, again, maybe put that on there if you're going to do that in an area of your video that's not in the way, so it's not messing things up. What do we got here under options? Oh, okay, under options, this is where we go to set up our timestamp, our caption, and the watermark. And under the watermark, you should already have an image created. Like if you got your URL, you can make one in Paint, or if you got Photoshop. But anyway, under options, you can choose where on your screen you want it to show. I would go with bottom corner, bottom left, bottom right. And caption, again, you've got the ability here to change the font, the color, the background color, and the location on your screen. And the timestamp, again, same thing, font, text, and the colors and the background color and the location on the screen where you want your timestamp to be. And that's pretty much it, folks. And this here is basically just this here, same as the toggle view here. And then the help, well, that's pretty self-explanatory too. And you just click on the About, gives you the version. And that's the case with any software. You click on Help, About, and it'll give you the version. There, a little added extra for you. But that's pretty much the Cam Studio. One thing I wanted to point out real quick too is the magnifying. We touched on the auto pan and how we enabled that. But the magnifying, there is no such thing as the zoom for Cam Studio just yet. But there is a third-party software that will work while you are recording. And that is called Magnifying Glass. And there's and this here's the URL for it under workerscollection.com. Let me just go there and see what we got. I think that's good enough. Correct. So if we do just workerscollection.com, then it will bring us to this page. Okay, and then you can go over here and do the magnifying glass free. And once you've downloaded that, what that does is it allows you to, well, let me just show you real quick because I've already downloaded it. And these are the items that you get after you unzip the download. The only thing that I'm really concerned with right now, if you read Russian, you can check this one out. Otherwise, you read this one here. But is this guy here, the exe file. And what I always do is I always scan it first for viruses by right-clicking and scan with my AVG. Been there, done that. Double-click on it. And next. Application, yep, that looks good. Okay, and let's launch it. And here we go. Now then, one application will start up. No, let's have the application start. Yeah, okay. English. Here's our shortcut key, and of course you can change that to I believe. And it says here, if it conflicts with something else you already got set, well then you can set it. Basic options. Fully visible, zoom factor. You can go big time. But that's fine right there, and we'll show you here in a second. Of course, play around with this. The pixel size or the height, we're going to go with 250 by 350 just to give you an idea as to what I'm talking about. Advanced option, no, yeah, and the offset here, for example, you see my mouse, where this is at, the actual screen is going to be 30 pixels off from where my mouse is. So I'll show you here in a second. Pro version, don't worry about, again, tells you a little bit about it. Okay, and down here, well, you can't really see, but I'll move my whole screen down here. Right down here is, in my start menu, is magnifying glass. Going to right click and show it. There we go. And you see my mouse is in the bottom part here. There we go. I guess it changes. Okay, so I haven't played with it too much, but you get the idea. Using this while recording your Cam Studio video it'll be able to zoom in on a particular part of your recording or your screen. And this works ideally for systems like, for example, some of the video hosting sites out there like YouTube that shrink everything down. Well, this will be able to provide a good tutorial for the people, for your viewers, even after another party such as YouTube or Google Video shrinks your video down to almost nothing. You'll still be able to, or your viewers will still be able to see what you want them to with this magnifier. Control-Alt-G turns it off. Control-Alt-G turns it on. How quickly they forget. Okay, I guess it also increased the size. But Control-Alt, I'm not sure what it was doing there. Now let me move my video thingy back up here, where we were. But that's the magnifier. And again, that's the location, www.workerscollection.com, and it'll bring you all the way over to here. And that's pretty much it, folks. Quick introduction, well, 20 or 30 minutes into an introduction anyway, of the free Cam Studio screen recorder. 2.5 is the version. Hope you learned something here today, and get out there and start recording some tutorials, some videos, some screen captures, because what you're wanting to do with this video series is to bring in a boatload of free traffic to your site or to the product that you're promoting through your affiliates or through the affiliate program you belong to. So create a quick program, or a quicker program than this one anyway, on your product or your website, and start to promote it. And with this, you can put in the watermarks, and we're going to go into in later videos some of the branding and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. So stick around. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed this video too. Thank you much for watching, and have a great day.